Merry Christmas everyone, my name is Benedict, and it's a Fleischer Brothers Christmas.
I know, I go on too much about the Fleischer Brothers, but when their entire filmography is in the public domain, of course I'm going to talk about them relentlessly. As such, today I will be reviewing their 1936 festive short, Christmas Comes But Once a Year, cited by some as an example of how the Fleischers were more down to earth than, well, pretty much everyone else at the time.
Now let's see if this cartoon is naughty or nice.
The opening shot shows a constructed 3D model of the orphanage we'll be spending some time in today, accompanied by the obligatory Christmas carol.
It's a little odd in retrospect hearing the Fleischers use a Christian song in their cartoon, considering both of them were Jewish. Maybe it was a higher up thing, I don't know.
We then enter the dormitory where the orphans are fast asleep. Until...
That is adorable. Have you ever been so excited to get out of bed that you spontaneously burst into song like that? Well, me neither, but why did I even bring that up?
The almost identical orphans then go and collect their presents from their respective stocking on the fireplace. Unfortunately, these toys are very old and fall apart as soon as they are used. You may want to plug your ears for a few seconds.
Jeez, no wonder I didn't take well to this as a child.
So, yeah, this appears to be a pretty lousy Christmas for these orphans.
Christmas comes but once a year, now it's here, bringing lots of joy it here.
Whoa, stop. Back it up. Let's watch that again.
Christmas comes but once a year, now it's here.
Yeah, there's no going about it. That is a textbook example of tonal dissonance. Imagine if other scenes were that jarring. The end of Swing You Sinners?
Christmas comes but once a year, now it's here.
Yep, tonal dissonance. The scene where Bambi's... wait, there's no topping that. That's tonal whiplash, not tonal dissonance. I'm getting sidetracked. Where were we?
Oh yeah, this old fella here, whose name is Grampy, is riding through the streets when he hears the orphans sobbing from the outside.
What's the matter in here, I wonder?
Good God, how loudly are they crying if you can hear them from the outside?
Of course he decides to help them. But how to do it?
Let me think. Oh, no.
I dread to think what thought came to his head just then.
But sure enough though, he gets a brilliant idea.
Hooray! I've got it!
Said plan involves breaking into the orphanage and ransacking the kitchen?
I thought you wanted to help these kids, not ruin their lives further by taking away their cooking equipment. Sorry children, but our cooking supplies are gone, so I'll have to be gruel until further notice. I'm sorry, but it can't be helped.
But credit where credit's due, Grampy is definitely creating some very neat toys out of these kitchen utensils.
Though I wouldn't go eating nails like that. Not without any milk anyway.
So, new toys and new decorations. Just one more thing for the surprise now. Dressing up as Santa Claus.
Now for the surprise. Merry Christmas, everybody!
So after a very bumpy start, the orphans finally get the best Christmas ever, all with Grampy's many curious gifts. They also get a bit of alpine skiing as well.
Yeah, I don't see how using super snow could possibly backfire. I mean, what? Oh, my eyes! Ah!
For one last treat, Grampy gathers the orphans around a Christmas tree made from umbrellas to sing out the title song one more time. And with one little touch from the executives to spark the inner consumer.
Right, let's get one thing out of the way quickly. The sound of orphan tears are the worst sound in the world. But once you get past that, it is much more enjoyable.
Much like the Christmas of these orphans, this short does get off to a rough start, but once Grampy makes everything right, it becomes a Christmas to remember. But even with its flaws, this is definitely a good example of how the Fleischers could be more down to earth than their peers. Sometimes a little too down to earth for my liking, but hey, you know the drill. Great animation and excellent use of models, as I expect from the Fleischer Brothers. And even if it's not the absolute pinnacle of Christmas specials, it still gives a good mix of joy and humbleness that we come to expect at this time of year. And if you want something a little more down to earth this season, look no further. This will fit the bill very nicely.
Besides, it's not like this is the deepest subject matter a Christmas special has handled. Not that I know of any. Anyway, since it is a Christmas special, I'm going to play you out. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever. And I'll see you in the new year. But for now, ready? And... Christmas comes but once a year, now it's here, spreading over joy and cheer, tra-la-la-la-la. You and me and he and she and we are glad because, why? Because there is a Santa Claus. Christmas comes but once a year, now it's here, spreading over joy and cheer, tra-la-la-la-la-la.